Tears, panic, and heartbreak. Remy Ma's family is begging the world for prayers tonight as doctors deliver a devastating update. She might not survive. The hip-hop community is in shock. Fans are left searching for answers, and whispers from inside the hospital paint a terrifying picture. How did things spiral this far? And is this truly the end for a woman who fought her way to the top, only to be brought down in the most tragic way? Stay with us, because what we've uncovered will leave you speechless. The news broke like a thunderclap, sudden, shocking, and almost too heavy to process. Remy Ma, the Bronx-born rap queen who fought through the streets, prison time, industry, politics, and public battles, is now fighting for her life in a hospital bed. Her family, usually known for keeping things private, has gone public with a desperate plea. Please pray for Remy. We don't know if she's going to make it. Those words hit the internet like a gut punch, leaving fans and the hip-hop community in stunned silence. For years, Remy Ma has been known as one of the toughest women in rap. A survivor, a fighter, a woman who has been through hell and back and always came out swinging. From her early days rolling with Big Pun and Terror Squad to her legendary comeback after serving 6 years in prison, Remy has built her reputation on resilience. She's the one who never folded, never let the industry write her off, never let life's challenges break her spirit. But this is different. This isn't a rap battle. This isn't industry beef. This is life and death, according to insiders. The crisis began with a sudden medical emergency that shocked even those closest to her. Reports say Remy was rushed to the hospital after collapsing at home, with her family scrambling to get help. At first, many assumed it was exhaustion. After all, Remy has been balancing music, family, and appearances for years. But once she was admitted, doctors reportedly uncovered something far more serious. The exact details remain murky, with her team refusing to disclose specifics. But one thing is clear. The situation is critical. The family's request for prayers wasn't just for sympathy, it was a cry for help. When Remy's loved ones went public, insiders say it was because doctors had delivered news that shook them to their core. She might not survive, was the chilling warning. Those words, when they left the lips of the medical staff, spread panic like wildfire through the room. And almost immediately, the family knew they couldn't handle this alone. They turned to the fans, the millions of people who've followed Remy's journey, who've cheered for her victories, and who've rooted for her through every battle, asking them to send prayers, love, and support. Fans responded instantly. Social media flooded with messages of strength, hope, and heartbreak. The hashtag Pray for Remy began trending within hours. Some fans shared stories of how her music inspired them, how her unapologetic strength gave them courage in their own struggles. Others posted tearful videos begging for her recovery, promising they wouldn't stop praying until she pulled through. In a world that often feels divided, Remy's crisis created unity. People from all walks of life rallying together for her survival. But inside the hospital, the mood is grim. Insiders claim that doctors have been working around the clock, performing tests, running scans, and monitoring her condition with urgency. And while the family clings to hope, whispers say the doctors aren't making promises. One source close to the situation revealed, the doctors are being real with them. They're saying it doesn't look good, okay? They're preparing the family for the worst, for Remy's loved ones. This is almost unbearable. Her husband, Papoose, who has stood by her side through everything from her prison sentence to her comeback, is said to be inconsolable. Those who've seen him say he's been pacing the halls, crying, praying, and refusing to leave the hospital. Papoose has always described Remy as his queen, the love of his life, and the backbone of their family. To imagine life without her is something he simply can't process. Then there are her children. Remy has always been fiercely protective of her family life, balancing the tough exterior of a rap legend with the tender role of a mother. To see their mother lying helpless, hooked up to machines, is a nightmare no child should ever face. Insiders say her family has been surrounding her bedside, holding her hand, whispering prayers, and begging her to fight. And fight she has. If anyone has the spirit to survive, it's Remy Ma. Fans remember her release from prison in 2014, when many wrote her off, assuming she'd fade into obscurity. Instead, she roared back into the spotlight, delivering hits, snatching awards, reminding everyone that she was still one of the most lethal rappers in the game. Who can forget her blistering diss track "SheDhr," which shook the industry and cemented her place in hip-hop history? That same fire, that same refusal to be counted out, is what her family is praying will carry her through this terrifying battle. But this situation also highlights something bigger: the fragility of life, even for those who seem larger than life. Remy Ma, the woman who stared down rivals, judges, critics, and haters, is now staring down the ultimate opponent: mortality. And it's a reminder to the entire hip-hop community that beneath the fame, the hits, and the tough personas, these artists are human. They hurt, they bleed, and they break down just like anyone else. As fans process this devastating news, questions swirl. What exactly happened? What condition could strike someone so suddenly, so severely, that doctors fear she might not survive? Some speculate it could be complications from past health issues. Others wonder if stress or exhaustion played a role. The truth is still tightly guarded, but insiders insist the family will share details when they're ready. For now, they want privacy, prayers, and peace. Meanwhile, the hip-hop world is bracing for impact. Fellow artists have begun posting tributes, calling for prayers, and expressing shock. Many who've shared stages with Remy are reflecting on her toughness, her resilience, and the way she always stood tall in a male-dominated industry. As one rapper tweeted, "If anybody can pull through this, it's Remy. She's the definition of a fighter." But still, the doctor's chilling words echo: she might not survive. Those words hang heavy in the air, haunting her family, her fans, and the entire culture. And while everyone is hoping for a miracle, the reality is brutal. Remy Ma's life hangs in the balance. The story doesn't end here, 'cause as insiders dig deeper, new details are surfacing about the events leading up to her collapse, the hidden struggles she may have been facing, and the emotional toll this crisis is taking on her loved ones. In Part 2, we'll uncover the shocking revelations about Remy's health, the family's behind-the-scenes turmoil, and why doctors are warning this battle could be her toughest yet. The hospital lights are harsh, cold, and unrelenting. For Remy Ma's family, every second feels like an hour, every beep of the monitor like a countdown. As her loved ones wait in agony, insiders say shocking details have emerged about what might have led to her collapse, details that reveal just how much Remy had been carrying behind closed doors. On the surface, Remy always appeared strong, unshakable, untouchable. But those closest to her know the truth. She's been quietly battling pressures that would break most people. Between balancing her rap career, television appearances, business ventures, and her role as a mother and wife, the weight on her shoulders has been massive. And insiders now claim those pressures may have played a devastating role in her current condition, according to sources close to the family. Remy had been ignoring signs of exhaustion for weeks. She was pushing herself to meet deadlines, perform at events, and keep up with the endless demands of fame. Friends had reportedly urged her to slow down, to take a step back. But Remy, being who she is, refused. Remy's the type who doesn't like to show weakness, one insider explained. She pushes through no matter what, but sometimes your body doesn't give you a choice. The night she collapsed, insiders say she had complained of feeling lightheaded and fatigued. At first, her family thought it was just stress. But when she suddenly fell unconscious, panic set in. By the time paramedics arrived, her condition was already critical. Doctors at the hospital later told her loved ones that her body had been under severe strain, and the collapse was the result of underlying issues that had been building for some time. But what were those issues? That's the question haunting fans. While the family has not disclosed specifics, whispers suggest a combination of cardiovascular complications and extreme exhaustion. Some even speculate about untreated conditions that Remy may have ignored. In her drive to keep moving forward, whatever the case, the doctor's warning was chilling. If her body doesn't stabilize soon, she may not survive. For her husband, Papoose, these revelations have been crushing. Known for his unwavering loyalty, Papoose has stood by Remy through her darkest hours, from the courtroom to prison walls to her triumphant comeback. He's always been her protector, her rock, the man who vowed to never leave her side. Now, insiders say he feels powerless. Pap keeps asking what more he could have done, a source revealed. He blames himself for not forcing her to rest, for not making her take her health seriously. But the truth is, nobody could have told Remy what to do. That's just who she is, a fighter. Meanwhile, Remy's children are struggling to process the reality. Her youngest, still too young to fully grasp the gravity of the situation, clings to family members asking when mommy will wake up. For the older children, the fear is raw and overwhelming. Seen their mother conquer so much: jail time, career setbacks, industry beefs, but nothing compares to seeing her vulnerable in a hospital bed. The emotional toll is stretching beyond the family. Reaching into the hip-hop community, fellow artists are not just worried, they're shaken. Remy isn't just another rapper. She's a symbol of perseverance, especially for women in hip-hop. It's her ability to stand toe-to-toe with male rappers, to hold her ground in one of the toughest industries, has made her a role model. Seeing her in this state has forced many to confront their own vulnerabilities. One industry insider admitted, "We all see ourselves in Remy. We run ourselves down chasing the grind, thinking we're invincible. But watching her fight for her life makes you realize none of us are untouchable." And while support is pouring in, there's also an undercurrent of fear. Insiders claim that behind closed doors, doctors are preparing the family for all outcomes, including the worst. It's a reality they don't want to face, but one they can't ignore. The phrase, "she might not survive," has echoed in every conversation, haunting everyone in that hospital waiting room. At the same time, family tensions have reportedly flared under the pressure. Some relatives, devastated and angry, are pointing fingers. They believe Remy's work schedule, the endless pressure of fame, and even certain business commitments contributed to her health crisis. Others argue that stress from recent industry conflicts added fuel to the fire. The truth may be a combination of it all. Years of grinding, pushing and carrying more than any one person should. Through it all, Papoose has remained the glue, urging unity, faith, and strength. It's been seen praying openly in the hospital chapel, breaking down in private, then returning to Remy's bedside to hold her hand and whisper words of encouragement. Insiders say he refuses to give up hope, no matter how grim the doctor's reports sound. Meanwhile, fans outside the hospital have begun holding vigils. Groups gather with candles, posters, and music, chanting her name and sending love into the night sky. Videos of these vigils have gone viral, further fueling the emotional wave sweeping across the hip-hop world. For many, Remy's fight is personal. She represents resilience, the ability to fall and rise again. And now they're determined to lift her up in prayer, just as she's lifted them with her music. But here's the painful reality. Even if Remy survives this crisis, insiders warn the road ahead will be long and difficult. Doctors reportedly told the family that her body may never fully recover from the damage it's endured. That means major lifestyle changes, possible career limitations, and an uncertain future. For a woman like Remy, who's always thrived on her unstoppable drive, that reality could be its own battle. The question now looms larger than ever. Can Remy Ma, the fighter, the survivor, the queen of comebacks, survive this? Or will this battle prove to be the one that even she can't win? The world is holding its breath, waiting for answers. And in part 3, we'll dive into the explosive aftermath, how this crisis is shaking the industry. The heartbreaking behind-the-scenes moments that the family doesn't want you to see. And the uncertain future that hangs over Remy Ma's legacy. The air outside the hospital is thick with tension. Fans gather in silence, holding candles, whispering prayers, and playing Remy Ma's music through portable speakers as though her voice itself might keep her alive. Inside, the family sits in a haze of exhaustion and grief, waiting for updates that seem to take forever to arrive. Every time a doctor walks through those doors, hearts stop. Every update is life or death. And insiders now reveal just how deep the emotional cracks have spread, not only in her family, but throughout the entire hip-hop industry. Remy Ma's health scare has turned into a wake-up call. It's not just about her fight for survival anymore. It's about the toll that fame, pressure, and constant battles take on artists who are forced to appear strong at all times. And for Remy, who built her legacy on resilience and toughness, the weight has been twice as heavy. Doctors may be treating her body, but the reality is that the stress she's carried for years could be the very thing dragging her to this critical point. Behind the scenes, insiders say the family is being torn apart by raw emotions. Arguments have broken out in hospital waiting rooms. Some relatives reportedly blame the industry for driving Remy to exhaustion. Others are lashing out at management and business associates, claiming they pushed her too hard. And in the middle of it all is Papoose, desperately trying to keep everyone focused on the only thing that matters, Remy's survival. One insider described him as broken but unshakable, saying he hasn't slept. He won't eat. He just sits by her bed, praying and talking to her, begging her to keep fighting. Meanwhile, the hip-hop world is still reeling. Artists who once traded bars with Remy, who celebrated her victories or even feuded with her, are putting aside differences to send support. Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Fat Joe, and countless others have either posted tributes or reached out privately to the family. For once, the industry seems united. Because even those who clashed with Remy know one truth: she's one of the realest too. Ever do it? But while the outpouring of love is overwhelming, insiders say the reality inside those hospital walls is far from hopeful. Doctors are being brutally honest with the family, telling them that Remy's chances of recovery are slim. They've explained that her body is weak, that complications keep piling up, and that even if she survives, she may never be the same again. It's for a woman whose life has been built on strength, independence, and commanding stages. That's a devastating possibility. Asterisk. Still, Remy's family refuses to give up. Prayer circles have formed around her hospital room. Ministers, close friends, and even fans have been allowed in at certain times to offer words of faith. Insiders say that when she briefly regained consciousness, her first words were asking for her family. Even in that fragile moment, she proved that the fighter in her isn't gone. One nurse reportedly said, "She's tougher than most patients I've seen. It's like she refuses to let go." But the truth is, this battle is far from over. And while her family prays for a miracle, the industry is already bracing for what comes next. If Remy doesn't make it, insiders say the shockwaves will be unlike anything hip-hop has seen in years. She's more than just an artist. She's a symbol of resilience, of female power in a male-dominated industry, of surviving against the odds. Losing her would mean losing a piece of hip-hop's soul. Even now, discussions about her legacy are swirling. Fans are revisiting her greatest moments, her early days with Big Pun, her time with Terror Squad, her iconic verses on Lean Back, her triumphant release from prison, her unforgettable diss track Shita Icha, and her chemistry with Papoose that made them one of hip-hop's most beloved couples. These highlights remind everyone why Remy isn't just another rapper. She's family to the culture. She's proof that you can fall and rise again. But if she survives, and insiders stress that miracles do happen, her future will look very different. Doctors have warned that she will need major lifestyle changes, possibly stepping away from the industry entirely to focus on her health. That would mean fewer performances, fewer long nights in the studio, and a complete reset of the pace she's been keeping for years. For someone like Remy, who thrives on the grind, slowing down will be a battle in itself. But as insiders say, she doesn't have a choice anymore. Survival or nothing. Heartbreaking as it is, this crisis has also sparked larger conversations. Other artists are now speaking out about the dangers of burnout, the hidden health struggles they face, and the toxic pressure of constantly being in the spotlight. Remy's collapse has become a mirror, forcing everyone to reflect on how much they're sacrificing in the name of success. And maybe, just maybe, her fight will inspire real change in the industry and in the lives of those who look up to her. For now, all eyes remain on that hospital. Fans around the world refresh social media, praying for updates, praying for good news. The vigils continue to grow, with people lighting candles, blasting her songs, and chanting her name in unison. It's as if the entire culture has paused, holding its breath, waiting for a miracle, and here lies the heart of the story. Remy Ma has always been a fighter. From the streets of the Bronx to prison walls, from industry shade to chart-topping success, she has never let life defeat her. Now, as she faces her greatest battle yet, the question is, can she fight her way back one more time? The doctors may say her chances are slim. The family may be bracing for the worst. But if there's anyone who could prove them wrong, it's Remy Ma. Because legends don't fade quietly, they rise. Even in the darkest moments, the world is watching. The prayers are pouring in. And whether she walks out of that hospital or not, one truth is undeniable. Remy Ma's legacy will never be forgotten. She's etched into the DNA of hip-hop. And no matter what happens next, her fight, her strength, and her voice will echo forever. And now the question is for you. Do you believe Remy Ma has the strength to beat the odds one more time? Or are we witnessing one of the most heartbreaking chapters in hip-hop history? Her family is begging for prayers. The doctors are warning of the worst, and fans everywhere are clinging to hope. But what do you think? Can she pull through this battle like she's done so many times before? We want to hear your voice. Drop your thoughts, prayers, and messages of support in the comments below. Let the family, the fans, and the entire culture know that Remy Ma is not fighting alone. If you felt the weight of this story and you want more deep dives into the moments that shape hip-hop, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update. Smash that like button if you're praying for Remy's recovery. And share this video with friends and fans who need to hear the truth behind what's happening. This is bigger than music. It's about life, strength, and survival. And this story is far from over.